Are you one of the people who think that 99% of Earth's population can all experience daylight at the same time? This comes up every July now. I'm not even sure when this started. It hasn't been too long. Last July, last summer, I shot a video on this because I have a globe and I tried to prove this and I wasn't able to do it. I lost that video on my other account and it came up in question this week on another video, so I'm going to reshoot this video. So here we have a globe. And here we have a sun. What we're going to do is point the sun at the globe and we're going to see what we can come up with. So the first topic that the globe proponents will say is, you don't know how big that Pacific Ocean is. The Pacific Ocean takes up half of the globe, which it doesn't take up half the globe, but it takes up half the globe, and that's what makes this 99% of daylight possible. So we're going to bring this big ocean back here to the back. And we're going to put the terminator line right here on California, okay? Because we want the United States. A lot of people live here, and we're looking for people, not land. So we're going to cut this off in California. Let's come over here and see what we've got. So what we've ended up with is over half the population of China is in complete darkness. This has to be in daylight. Indonesia, way back here is Australia. It's all in complete darkness. Look at all this land that's in complete darkness. There's too many people here for this to work. So let's bring that Chinese population back on the terminator line. Let's step back over here and see what we've got. Well, looky there. Over half of the United States is now in complete darkness. To get 99% of the population, you've got to get more than that. Look how much of South America is in. There's a lot of people down here. You can't get 99% of the population in daylight on a globe. It does not work. So if you'd like to join us in the comments down below, give me your opinion on what I can do differently to make this work, because I've tried this. I've tried it with the axis of tilt pointed in a different direction, and that actually makes it even worse. So you have to point it like this, which is the way it's supposed to be for that time of year. But I can't find any place on this globe to where 99% of the population experiences some form of daylight all at the same time. It does not work.
July 8th is known as an impossible day on the globe. It's due to the fact that the globe gets to be illuminated in almost 70% of its surface. This cannot happen because we all know that according to the ball Earth, the sun illuminates half of the ball Earth. Flat Earth is proved on this day.
I wanted to say this comment concerning a monkey's comment. So yeah, when that fact is mentioned, that when you mention the citations from these professional institutions that teach their students to operate various machinery, especially, travel vehicles, right, through the air, on the water, on the earth, especially through the air, that they are being taught to navigate and operate these machines on a flat, stationary, non-rotating plane. And then the apologetic response, which is just an ad hoc rescue fallacy, well, it's just to make the math simpler. Well, that's a digression from the point. Furthermore, you're insinuating that that premise is false within the curriculum that these students are receiving. And so that necessarily reduces that reply to absurdity. You're telling me these professional institutions are teaching their students to operate this machinery with their lives and the lives of others in their hands in a cosmological paradigm that isn't real?
Well, I just wanted to show you this stuff because you can go look it up by yourself. Okay, you can go look it up by this number. This is public information. Here's more. But I will direct your attention to here. Okay? And I will direct your attention to here as well. Here's another one. Earth. I did not put that there. It's on their diagram, buddy. Here's another one. Flat Earth. Okay? Again, you can go print this up on your own. Here we go. stop being lazy. The information is available. Now, I only printed up the pages that I needed because this comes up. Each file has hundreds of pages. Okay? Here's more. Okay? Here is a CIA document. You can go look it up by this number. Talking about the firmament. Talks about the near sun, flat earth, firmament. Okay. Here's NASA talking about flat, non-rotating earth. NASA, huh? These are documents you can go find on your own. Here's another NASA document, which I sent you the link to this one. Flying over a flat, non-rotating earth. And if that's not enough for you, we have the Student Flight Dynamic Handbook that will also tell you where this flat and non-rotating. Okay? And that's not enough. We have the FFA. Not talking about the Earth spinning, elliptical orbiting, or flying through the galaxy at all. The globe is dead.
Modern science wants you to believe that this is Earth's shadow coming in, doing a turn, and leaving this way. But ancient Hindu cosmology talks about Rahu and Ketu, which aren't actually planets, but balls of energy that interfere with celestial bodies as they pass over them, which actually sounds a lot like dark celestial bodies in modern science, or black holes, or dark matter. In Hindu cosmology, Rahu and Ketu is what causes our lunar and solar eclipses, which the story sounds a lot like the mystery of dark bodies we have today. I found this article on dark stars, which have similar properties of black holes. You can't actually see the star, but you can see when it passes over light. But this makes me think they know exactly what these dark stars are, as you see, acting like a stellar youth serum. What's crazy is Rahu and Ketu came from this entity who got cut in half after taking some Amrita and becoming immortal, and then became Rahu and Ketu. Amrita is an elixir, a potion, a youth serum. And look what I found in this article of the dark stars. Read this. Acting like a stellar youth serum. So do they know what's going on? Is the study of dark celestial bodies and dark matter really the study of Rahu and Ketu? I've watched Globers try to steelman the Selenilian eclipse, which is called the impossible eclipse because it's when the sun and the moon both are above Earth's horizon. They try to say that really the sun is down here, but it just looks like it's up here like a mirage. But how is an illusion casting light onto the Earth? I don't know. This is their explanation. Or this is their explanation. They say that you're actually 5,000 feet tall and you can really see. Look, if the Earth and Moon are just above Earth's horizon, there's no way to cast a shadow onto the Moon. I want to thank Angel of Light for the awesome lunar eclipse footage, and thank David Shane for showing me who Rahu and Ketu was. It set me on this path, finding all these links. Wow.
Flat Earth is dumb, right? Then why does the mainstream media have to lie about what we say it is? I can tell you right now, not a single flat earther believes that. That's just as absurd as the globe model. On top of that, why does Congress admit to censoring flat Earth?
As searching for the Earth is flat on YouTube, where you see a lot of...
Your response is to put a box saying, nope, the Earth is not flat.
Correct.
Okay.
So here's the straw man. You don't take the heliocentric model and then just put a flat disk in there and say, that's what flat earthers believe. Nobody believes that. So what you gotta do is forget about the whole idea of space. This would be a better representation of what it is. We're effectively the basement or the bottom floor of the Earth, and all the luminaries move above. Here's another decent representation. And if you really wanted to go in depth, we actually live on a dielectric plane between a double torus experiencing the top half over the Earth. So again, we live in the middle of a double torus. And again. This is what that top torus would look like from above looking down. This is why the path of the planets, which are just wandering stars, all fall perfectly in line with that torus, as does the path of the ISS. This is over a flat.
The first thing I wanted to do once I woke up from the indoctrination that we're all subjected to is try to wake other people up that were still indoctrinated. But I found that to be a very difficult task, and so I want to warn you, if you are recent to waking up to the truth about reality and the shape of the world you live on, then don't force it on people, because it's not easy to reconsider your entire life. Some people can't do it. But be warm and ready for when they do get curious.
Absolute proof that everything that NASA puts out is CGI Photoshop images. Now, if you guys don't know who Robert Simon is, he is a data visualizer and designer for NASA. This is the guy who created the blue marble that you see on the iPhone. Let's listen to a couple clips of this interview where he talks about how he created the blue marble.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through, so I just hit Command-Z a lot.
Notice how he says he just hits Command-Z a lot? That's all just copy and pasting. You can see it right here. Here's another perfect example of how lazy that these guys got when creating the blue marble, and he admits it's Photoshop.
Those are painted on.
It is Photoshopped, but it's has to be.
It is Photoshopped, but it has to be. So in this interview, he said that this has to be created with Photoshop, but NASA said that this was taken with a real camera.
On July 6th, 2015, we released this spectacular image of Earth taken by NASA's
Where's the stars?
Epic camera.
Now let's take a look at this guy, Robert Simon, aka Blue Marble, NASA.gov. Here's a little interview from Robert Simmons, lead data visualizer and information designer, senior program analyst at NASA. What was the coolest thing you've ever done as a part of your job at Goddard? The hard part was creating a flat map of the Earth's surface with 4 months of satellite data. Satellite data? I thought this was from a real camera. Then we wrapped the flat map around a ball. You guys honestly look at these images and think that this is real. You are out of your mind. I mean, there's the moon, where are the stars? And all they're trying to do is hide the true creator of this realm. Peace and love.
You really believe the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles per hour? You sure? You're sure when you look out a plane window and everything looks completely still that it's actually moving 1,000 miles per hour? Well, maybe you think it's because a plane doesn't get high enough, but this was 25 miles up and nothing's moving. And when you ask the internet, at what height can I see the Earth rotating? It says there isn't one. It's not a question of height. The Earth only turns once a day, so it's so slow you can't see it. Or Earth spins much too slowly for its rotation to be visible from anywhere in real time. Well, that's funny, because it sure looks like it's spinning pretty fast for first ever Russian astronaut spacewalker Alexei Leonov. And it sure looks like, even though the astronaut Ed White is in slow motion, that the Earth is spinning pretty fast. But the Earth must have been feeling a little lazy this day, because it seems to have slowed down for the next spacewalk. And not only does the Earth decide to have different speeds on different days based on its laziness factor, they were supposedly 70,000 feet, which is only 13 miles high. And the International Space Station is supposedly at 254 miles high. Let's look at this. Okay, so this was 70,000 feet or 13 miles in the International Space Station at 250 miles. Something doesn't seem right. And then the first ever US spacewalk at 100 miles. And then Felix Baumgartner at 25 miles for the highest space jump. Do you guys see the inconsistencies here? If you don't, it's because you're choosing not to. You know what doesn't have inconsistencies? Truth. You know what does? Lies. I mean, this is supposedly a real image, guys. Look at this. It's a painting. It's literally a painting. It's time to stop believing in this and start realizing you live in God's created little realm here. He made it just for you. Hey, you still an ice wall denier? Well, if you are, you better start paying attention, because they've been putting it in plain sight for decades. You see, not only do they mock it in their mockumentary movies, but they've been putting it right under your nose in commercials for kids. Commercials that not only mock us for how dumb they think we are, but commercials that literally tell us how they are trying to numb us from caring about figuring it out. And by the way, they consider us the cavity creeps.
As evening approaches Toothopolis, so do the cavity creeps.
Oh no! Cavity creeps!
Hurry, the crest's up.
I mean, I just had to point this out. Come on. Come on.
Cavity creeps spotted!
We make holes in teeth. We make holes in teeth.
Chris the Florence can will fix them!
Not Crest!
Yay, Crest!
Watch treats
See your dentist.
and fight the cavity creeps like the Crest team.
Fight cavities with Crest!
It's funny, have you ever seen what happens to people who go too far south towards Antarctica? A Navy ship.
Globy McGlowface, I know you believe in fantasy. I know you believe in all that other crazy good stuff, but the Van Allen belts are an impenetrable barrier, says your NASA. And so does Colorado University. They describe it as a Star Trek-like invisible barrier in space. Well, if it's a barrier, and if it's impenetrable, then how is anything getting past it? Silly Glurf? How is that happening? Right. So this is that partial truth that they've told you, but not all of it. But you go for it. I know. Listen, grow up, my man. There's no space. We're not on a ball, and we're not moving. Wake up, silly Glurf.
The Flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was Al-Biruni, and he lived from 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also of the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alenkar, known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo. I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific Ocean where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional map maker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.